Yo, yo, yo. What is up? Thursday night? Best ball drafts with Will. I should come up with a little catchy cute theme song. But until I come up with that, we'll let the intro play and we'll get into it. What is up, Lucas? How we doing? 12 by 11 Superflex PPR 0.510 premium. Okay, I remember. I see your note as well. This was one of the teams from Tuesday's live stream. So this is the Superflex 12 by 11, but QB2 is A-Rich right now. JT, Judkins, Kamara, Malik, Puka, London, Marv, Olave, TJ Hawk, flexible tight ends and bums. No first this year or next. Yeah, okay, I remember this team. Mentioned yesterday that I maybe need to tier down from one of my wide receivers. Someone wants London and is offered Worthy, a 26 first, a 27 second. Thoughts, comments, concerns. I will say in the deeper format, I'm more likely to do these kind of tier downs for like London level receivers. But I don't know. I mean, even with how deep your team is at the receiver position, I kind of just want to hold on to that advantage. I know you say here, yeah, I think I want more. Yeah, I agree. I would definitely push back. Just because, like, yeah, you're deep at receiver, you know, even after you were to tier down from London to Worthy. But, man, holding on to Malik, Puka, London, Marv, and then Olave, like, worst case is just, you know, a ticket to see if you have the stackedest receiving room in the league. So, yeah, I would definitely try to push back. And the other thing I would want to know and be curious about is if this deal specifically, if you felt like you could turn around and tier up from A-Rich or whatever, or do some other kind of trade to get a quarterback from this, I feel like I'd be more willing to move a receiver in a deal for like a solidified quarterback. So like if you could take one of your receivers and just kind of offer to, you know, the high-end quarterback teams, like is there any quarterback stud lead teams that are hurting at receiver that you think would be willing to do that kind of move with you? And it doesn't even necessarily need to be like Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Lamar. That'd be nice, but you would probably have to come with your Malik or Puka. But I could see, I mean, you would probably need firsts on top of the receivers to make those kind of deals, but I would do it, you know, tier below that to have like a Kyler, whatever. I would want to find the juiciest offer, the juiciest team, but I'd be fine doing that kind of move for, you know, depressed Hurts value, like that kind of level. But let's get into it. The Puppy 2 dropped. These are $5 entries, and I think I'm going to hop in there. I would love to get in drafts with the people, but I think, oh, I forgot to post that we're adding everyone. I'm an add everyone guy. We're 3 streams in. Wait, this is the 4th. Yeah, 3 streams in. This is the 4th. I think we've reached the point where we can add the entire Discord. They were calling me Dynasty Junior. It's kind of a... It was kind of cute, but then I kind of felt a little bit weird, like Jeremy was my dad or something. So we'll have to work through that. But regardless, we have this puppy filled, literally. So let's get the draft board set up. Flip over to the other overlay. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, not bad. Wonder if, okay, not that. So that zoom. Okay, we're working through this. I was worried. I did see that Underdog. Okay, this is fine. I saw that Underdog had changed up the setup. This work. This should be good, right? Got the 4 spot here. Yo, what's good, Zeno? How we doing at the how we doing in the old startup draft? I saw you posted. I think you just took Caleb, right? I'm pretty anti, like the way that I handle startups, and usually it's because I double hit quarterback after I do a receiver start like you did. Like the last one I did that I've talked about on the stream the most was a Chase, Puka, Nico start, and then I went Purdy Goff, and then I didn't take, my first running back was Chase Brown, but to be fair, Chase Brown fell to like the 6-12. So like I would feel way worse about my team and maybe would have reached for a different running back if I didn't feel confident I was going to get one of those guys that fell. But I like Caleb. All right. Honestly, I have not been taking a lot of CD, and I do like the way that my teams work out. I feel like my thing is with the running backs. I've kind of been thinking about this a lot. This kind of range of like this Hampton 45 through, honestly, all the way through like Quinshon Judkins. And like I can talk myself into taking Swift. Once it gets down to like Pacheco, Pollard, Jones, I mean, even Jones, I've been taking a decent amount. I need to cool down on the Jones. But like, okay, so ADP wise, we're looking at 74, right? Is like the end of the running backs Will likes taking. And like the 74 range of receivers is like, I don't feel great about having like Pearsall or Shakir or Reed or Golden as like my locked in. I'm banking on these guys hitting my lineup consistently in the format. So I feel like when you go wide receiver heavy to start, it also lets you go elite quarterback, which I have not been doing as much, which I want to do more because you just feel more confident taking the 1D positions. I only didn't double tap QB because everyone had me at 2 basically. Okay, I like that. Play the room. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I saw you talking about playing the turn and stuff. I like being at the turn and kind of playing that. Yeah. How's everything been? Pretty good. Pretty good. We can get a little personal. So I have been doing, this is the second year I've done it. First year doing soccer, but I am coaching a Special Olympics soccer team. I did basketball last season. We actually went to like states. The team was pretty sick. There was some controversy on how we did the recruiting. Apparently there's an A and a B league, and we had some A leaguers on our team, on the B team, that probably should have been in the A league. But we didn't win, so I didn't feel too bad about the controversy. But it's a good time. I like highly recommend, you don't even need to do like the volunteering or anything, but witnessing like any kind of Special Olympics sport or activity is amazing. There is no more supportive group of individuals than a Special Olympics sporting team. All right, I will say I'm a Bucky guy, but I have been cooling on the Buckster a little bit. Just with the, actually, you know what? I probably was going to do my little spiel about cooling on Bucky just with the Tristan Wirf starting on the pup, the regression, but sometimes you just got to sack up, you know? And I don't love taking this range. I mean, Rice, I've taken a decent amount of Rice. I actually had a ton of Rice earlier in the offseason when he was going a little bit later. And so it's like, I like Tyreek, and I probably will start taking more Tyreek, but I think he's starting to rise with the Jonnu Smith stuff. I don't know, dude. One of the guys is like 6'5". He's probably like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". They're saying true. What up, Sean? How we doing? Oh, I'm on the clock already. All right, let's go. Yeah, that's how I'm fine with Marv. I'm trying to take some of the guys that I probably have done like not a ton. I've done a lot of like the lower. Full transparency, me as an underdog drafter, best ball, I will draft a handful of BBM teams, but I am not a BBM maxer. Don't have the funds to be in the number of dynasty leagues that I am in and want to be in, and also draft an insane amount of BBM teams. But so I do a lot of I'll do every like single entry contest that comes up. I always hit those. And then I like getting close to maxing these like smaller contests. So this Puppy 2 is a $5 one. Now this one's like 100 something. So I don't know if I'll get there. But there's like some like lower amount, 20 entry max. Like I'll get close to maxing those. I need to start taking more elite quarterbacks. Usually what happens, what I've been doing in my drafts is, and I'll go up here, when I am in this range, I end up wanting to hit, I usually don't start with one of these running backs, and I usually am hitting 1 or 2 running backs here just because I feel like they're better picks than the wide receivers. Ooh, Hurts ahead of Lamar. That's not even like an AJ Brown team. It's kind of weird. Sure. Do your thing, man. Okay, you wanted the Hurts Smith. Okay, I like it. That is interesting to push Smith around the corner versus pushing Hurts when Lamar's on the board, but like it all's well that ends well, I guess. All right, we are pretty flexible here. Will is almost always. Oh, I just caught myself talking to the third person again. Maybe it's like you know what it probably is. Jay Daniels goes. I was about to say I always take Jay Daniels there. I always take Kittle here if he falls to this. I feel like Kittle's such a good pick. And this guy already took a tight end. 2 wide receivers. This guy, Steve-O, I feel like Steve-O's taking Kittle. Yeah, that was a, do you see how fast that was a snap Kittle pick. Oh, brutal. So I have to go wide receiver here. I don't really have any DK. You love a good positive blurb when you click on the player, even though you don't care. I was about to say I want to start pulling up the week 17 stuff and memorizing that more. But I've kind of been anti-stacking for week 17 pilled because I think. All right, here we go. I'm going deep. I'd have gone Worthy there. Yeah, I like Worthy. I like my like Worthy Rice take has been I've been starting to take less Rice because I think there's a chance that my thing with Worthy is I think at the end of the season we saw him playing some of that, doing a lot of that Rice stuff that we feel like Rice is taking from Kelsey. And I feel like Rice, if healthy, is better at that kind of short intermediate field stuff. And they would want to use Worthy more as the field stretcher, which is great for best ball. Like nothing against that. But in terms of like elite, bang, insane upside, kind of like going JMO here. If I had to go JMO and I'm at pick 69, I'm looking at like the rookies or something. Then I get to kind of be done at wide receiver for a little bit. Travis Hunter. You could talk me into Travis Hunter. I'm a Lions fan. Where are we at on JMO? Thoughts? Like him in best ball? Yeah. I know. I feel like a lot of my best ball takes end up being like dynasty stuff just because it's, I mean, obviously, I'd probably say 85% of my brain is devoted to dynasty and 15% is best ball. And so, and it's kind of funny because I tend to think about a lot of dynasty stuff like takes for the season in terms of how I feel in best ball. And I got two hear me outs. This first one is kind of weird based off of that because I feel like it's so reactionary, especially with young players in situations that we are going to determine for the long term. So, for example, with Worthy specifically, if week 1 through 4, Rice is healthy and it's Rice is getting 10 targets a game, 8-9 receptions, 90 yards. It is all that short intermediate stuff. And Worthy has like 1 good game and 2 okay games. And it's like 17% target share. He is dipping fast. I'm not saying that is the most likely outcome. I think the most likely outcome is that Rice is in that role. Yes. But the NFL isn't so figured out as like, because he's in that role, Rice will always get, it's just, you know, we that's just the I feel like people like to assign players and spots and situations, especially at the receiver position, and it's like that's just what it'll be. But it's like, man, there's weeks where like Devonta Smith has, you know, bigger games than AJ Brown, even though all right, I need to lock in here. I would love RJ to fall here. He has been falling a lot. It would be tough. I do not like going 5 receivers through 6 rounds. But I do like having 5 receivers through 8. You could talk me into 1 more receiver and then being totally done. Just because I feel similarly about these running backs that I would get at this 76 pick here. Oh, guys, I'm about to live feel bad about not responding to a text from K Scott. K Scott, if you want to type out your message in the chat, I will break it down. Will was a little HIGH the night that you sent that. I don't know why I spelled it out. Like you guys were children or something. Maybe it's so that YouTube won't strike me or something. All right, let's lock in here. Ooh, this is kind of a nice team to take Chris Godwin on. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's double tap running back. Judkins already went? Dang. All right, let's double tap running back. I am also in the camp that there's a chance that the Lions split is closer to 70-30 Gibbs than the 50-50 that we've had for Gibbs' first 2 years. But I'm also in the camp that Dan Campbell loves watching David Montgomery smash linebackers and falling forward for 3 yards. All right, I would love to double tap running back here if it was Swift. I don't feel as great about Pacheco. And I actually don't. I don't mind Laporta. I haven't taken any Laporta. Laporta's kind of nice because that sets up a reason for me to take Goff and then just go triple QB with 2 mid guys and a late guy. Because I can take Rodgers late, or I can take Kyler or Dak. I have a couple options there, and I can kind of push them. Got it coming right up. Let's go. All right, I'm locked in. I'm locked in here. 95.5. I honestly, if I broke it down in terms of like the time I spent on things, I'm probably closer to 99.1. Swift goes. With like the video editing and stuff that I do for the channel. I mean, maybe this is my Lions team. It does kind of feel weird to have a Lions team with no Amon-Ra or Gibbs. All right, Pearsall. I kind of like pushing. Let's go Golden. I've kind of been splitting my Golden Reed picks, honestly. I think that just from what we've seen, from the way the Packers have deployed Jayden Reed, makes me more excited about Golden in best ball. But I'm going to put out there into the universe that 40% of that take is just the nebulous rookie upside that gets assigned to players in best ball. You know, we haven't seen them be mediocre. So what if they're amazing kind of deal? I feel like Worthy will break out this year, and he's currently undervalued. I do like this take. I do like this take. And my Worthy take is also that I think they probably should be going closer in best ball, because I don't necessarily think it's like 100%. I don't think it's 100-0 that Rice is just going to slot back in and take over that short intermediate role. And I also think that Andy Reid is going to want to use a guy with Worthy speed in unique ways. And I also think the other side of that is the, taking time for rookies to come on. Like, Worthy was kind of probably forced into a position the Chiefs probably didn't want him to have to play so early. Like, we saw Rice get slow played. I feel like that's pretty common with Andy Reid to kind of slow play these rookies. Give them opportunities in camp early on, but only reason I even like Worthy at all is because he was drafted by the Chiefs. I was out on him pre-draft. Yeah, I am kind of a big speed does not equal production in fantasy. Okay. Igbuka is a fun pick. Not double tapping. Already have 5 receivers. Yeah, I think one of these has to be a running back. I'd go running back, quarterback, or yeah, I think I need to stop. I think if this Golden pick was a running back, if this was Laporta or Swift or something, then I would go Igbuka. But I think having 6 receivers at this point is overkill. I just feel like you aren't just making a bet that your receivers aren't good if you think you need to take 6 or 7 through round 8, 9. All right, on the clock here, B-Rob goes. Ayuk is kind of a fun pick on this kind of team, but I think Kyler Marv is just too good. And then we just have to take a running back. Ayuk is fun to take on these teams where you start 4 or 5 receivers, but I think there's a chance that he falls even more, and I can get Ayuk in the... I guess he probably won't fall too He just probably would fall past like Fields. I don't think he would fall too far. It's hard to see him fall behind like Keon. But I could see like Higgins getting camp and preseason buzz. I could see Kupp getting veteran. Looks like he did 3 seasons ago buzz, getting pushed up. One trick pony overdrafted by the Chiefs. Laporta, why not? Yeah, I probably should have been Laporta on that earlier pick. It would have let me be more flexible taking these receivers. It was so funny talking about how I hate taking receivers in this range, and then all of them that I like ended up falling. Are we still get Ayuk here? But because all the running backs went, I think here's the play. You guys aren't gonna like it. Ooh, I could be talked into Fields. All right, here's the play. We're done at receiver. We're not drafting another receiver for the entire draft. This tab doesn't exist. Oh. Okay. These are the only tabs that exist. We are going to get a falling Najee who shot himself in the eye with a firework. What does this blurb say? A statement from Harris agent Doug Hendrickson on Thursday noted that the running back sustained. I should not be laughing. Eye injury stemming from what was described as a fireworks mishap during a 4th of July event. This is a Shefty report. Fully expected. It remains to be seen. Wow. That is something. Oh, that is something. Yes, for sure. And that's why I think it isn't necessarily like 100-0 Rice power slot. Like I think Andy Reid and the Chiefs are smart enough to use both of those players in unique ways. A lot of motion stuff, getting them both out in space. I just think that 3-game sample, it is just so exciting. And I think people are getting a little over their skis on like projecting that 3-game sample for season long and drafting him at the end of the 2nd round in best ball. But it's also hard to argue that that doesn't exist. And he isn't more likely than worthy to get that role. I know. I don't remember how long ago this was, but I did really want Swift there. Yeah, for sure. Too early for Sanders. Ooh. I'm trying to think of a Sanders that this could possibly be. That would not make me vomit. All right, wait. Let me. I'm giving this the time it deserves, Scott. So don't click away, okay? I'm coming right back to this. Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, I can't wait for him to be wearing some like crazy visor, eye patch. Live comment. Okay. All right. I'm for draft Sid. I can take those. I'm ready for those. They don't throw me off. I don't remember the last time I touched a firework. I'm gonna be honest. All right, we're coming up on my turn. I'm gonna start reading this off. But I know this is a doozy, and I do have some thoughts. I will say I do have some thoughts. Okay, we can get Goff here, but we also can get Dak. It's gotta be Dak with CD. And then I think that Ferguson is okay. I guess he's not crazy undervalued. Who's he going around? Right ahead of Jonnu. I mean, I'd take him over Jonnu for sure. I'd take him over all the guys. I guess it's pretty fair. All right, we can get Dak here, and then we take like Tajay Tootin or something. I like that. I do like that. He declared that. I want to read that report. He declared himself fully healthy. That's awesome. What an awesome headline. That is so funny. It was a declaration. Dak stood up. He called a press conference. He stood up. He was wearing like a robe and a crown, and he opened up his I almost had it. You're working through the joke and you've hit like 2 out of 3 of the things and you can't remember the name of the third thing. What's the thing that you would hold open to make this declaration? All right, I think Ramondre is pretty. Let me just tap this. All right, jeez. All right, here's what I will say. Okay, here's what I will say. Nothing about this page excites me. except for Tillman. I talk myself into Tillman in a lot of drafts when I need a receiver. Like, QJ is fine. I'm fine with a lot of these guys. Like, they will give you some weeks. But in terms of, like, best ball, week winning upside, it's a yike for me. I mean, week winning upside is probably a lot to give on that range. But, all right, here we go. I'm locked in. 12 by 10, Superflex PPR, 1.10 in premium, 6-point passing, -1. Team context is a rebuilder. Scott loves his rebuilds. I'll tell you that much. All right, I'm listening. JD5, JJ McCarthy. I'm fine. Cans. Okay, the cans is just running backs. So just like no running backs. That's fair. Makes sense in a rebuild. MHJ, Downs, Godwin, McBride, 326 first, 226 seconds, 227 firsts. Okay, I like this team. Trade is you're sending away JD5, McBride, Marv, and Godwin. It's a 12 by 10. 1.10 in premium. 27 second for Bowers, London, Knicks, DJ Moore, and a 26 mid first. Okay, here's what I'll say, and I want to give you some context on my thoughts. I am pretty close on Bowers and McBride. Like, I would take Bowers for sure. 100%. But I probably wouldn't. Okay, if you made me tack on a second to McBride to get Bowers, I probably would do it. So maybe I should just stop talking. Okay, the big hang up for me. So you're going MHJ Godwin to London DJ Moore. Okay. JD5. Here's my thing with this move. I feel like, and I like Knicks, but I feel like there's a real chance that in a year from now, you are praying that you could tack a first onto Knicks to get Jaden Daniels. Like, Jaden Daniels feels like he could be year 2. You just get Lamar entering his second season. And that is like worth way more than Knicks a first and upgrading from McBride to Bowers. All right. I think we still have to hammer. So the turn around us, we have a 2 tight end team. Oh, I would love Tootin here. Oh, Tootin would be such a good faller. The 3-2-5 one, this guy's probably taking him. Oh, don't make me take Ray Davis or Garendo. Please. Ow. No, dude. Oh. I don't have any Ray Davis. Are we buying the Ray Davis? I will say that the year 2 stuff. All right. Oh, that just, dude, Tootin versus Ray Davis is just like, all right. Maybe that's an overreaction. That's funny. Yeah. I own McBride in a league, and I don't think there's a big enough difference. Try to trade up to get Bowers. Basically, it wouldn't be worth what it costs. I think McBride can finish ahead of Bowers. I agree with this. I also think, though, my only pushback would be what we, like, McBride, step behind what I'm about to say about Bowers, but not a big step, a slight step. Bowers, like, rookie season is like Hall of Fame, legendary trajectory. All right. I'm going to quick check these running backs, but I think Ferguson is just a great pick here. You could talk me into this range, but I think I can get this range potentially in my next pick. Like this tank Jalen Wright. This team's coming together, guys. We take Ferg here. We got our tight end 1 stacked up with Dak. The Dak stack attack. Yeah, I think I probably would do a McBride in a second for Bowers in leagues where seconds don't matter. In deep leagues, I probably would just hold. Yeah. There's some pushback. I've seen some from some people that it's like you look at Bowers' production in like fourth quarter and it was like leagues ahead of every other player, and it's like, oh, they were losing so much, like it was just a garbage time production. But it's also the NFL, and if a team has to pass and that production is like flowing through a player, like I'm pretty excited about that when it's a rookie tight end. So I would like push back on some of that sentiment, but still, I mean, McBride gets the massive contract. He's doing this with Kyler. What do we think? Do we think where are you guys at on like the Marv disappointing rookie season being a Kyler thing? Like if the Cardinals were like, F you Kyler, 3 seasons from now. I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. I think it's just a fun thought experiment. Like, is there any world where it's like McBride has a production fall off in a couple seasons? I don't even want to do this corollary because I hate all the people that are like, oh, Kyler's on the outs, because there would be teams lining up. So yeah, K Scott, I don't know if I gave you a great final say, but I don't think I'm doing this, even though I understand it from your perspective, because I can see saying I'm getting a mid first in this move, and I'm trading away what should be the more productive quarterback on a rebuild. I don't care about JD5's production this next season, and getting, you're not really getting much younger at wide receiver, a tiny bit. I just think that there's a real chance that JD5 has the same season we had last season. And if you get the slightest bit of Knicks regression, you're like, man, please, will you take my Knicks a first in this player for Jaden Daniels, please? Yo, what's up, Philip? Bucky or 27 first and 227 seconds. Okay, format is pretty key in this kind of move. 12 by 10, PPR, 0.5 in premium, 6-point passing touchdown. Ertz, Mahomes, May, Bijan, Jacobs, Mixon. Ooh. Monra, Puka, Nico, AJ Brown, Adams, Bowers. Oh, are you buying Bucky? Ooh, 327 firsts. All right, I'm about to make a pick here. I will be revisiting this. All right, we are on the clock. I have not really looked at what happened. I think all the interesting running backs I wanted to take went. Will is a Rico Dowdle guy. You know what? Maybe it's Jonnu season. Thoughts? All right, hear me out. Hear me out. Jonnu, Rodgers, and we have Dak, CD, Ferg. We have Rodgers, DK, Jonnu, and we have Kyler, Marv. I think skinny stacks, low key. Low key. Okay, guys, low key. All right, do we think Rodgers has fallen to 189? I think he could. Quarterback just went. Gino just went. If I don't take Rico here, how important is Rodgers? Oh. I mean, Dak, Kyler's kind of a fine 2 QB team. Let me do this. Are you guys in on Rico with me? I've been taking too much Rico. I just think there's a chance that Rico kind of eats into Chupa's pass catching stuff. And that's the kind of bet I want to make at this range for a running back. All right. I've never prayed for Aaron Rodgers to fall to me in a draft more than I'm praying right now. That just would be such a sexy team. All right. Let me lock back in for you, Philip. My bad. All right, so you're getting I don't know if this team needs Bucky is the thing. Bijan, Jacobs, Mixon, like I'm kind of fine with that. Amonra, Puka, Nico, AJ Brown, Bowers. Bro, you have Bowers and McBride? Holy. Like, I get wanting to just like spend up and get the best assets, but I don't know if I feel the need to do that with a Bucky, especially with this like Tristan Wirfs stuff. I'd probably be trying to like tier up even more. That's kind of what I like to do. When I'm using like a rich get richer thing, I'm either like going after the top of the top or I'm holding my assets for the attrition and flexibility. I feel like I'm not doing that. It's fine. Like, this is a fine trade in a 12 by 10, but having extra picks to play with when your team is already stacked is really nice. This team is crazy good, dude. This team is sick. I just realized that this has to do with the question I asked earlier. I take Dak Attack over Goff. Goff's going to perform every year, but expect some regression loss to Ben Johnson. I agree. And I think even if Ben Johnson was still there, the Lions, like, passing Touchdown. Oh, there's a chance. All right, we're just trying to dodge. I don't think we're getting that. All right, we looking at third tight end here. Maybe. There's a chance. All right, everyone do a ayahuasca prayer circle that Aaron Rodgers falls to us here. All right, I also have been workshopping a Darren Waller take. Let me know when you guys are ready for it. Okay. All right, one more pick, because I don't think this guy's going 4 quarterbacks. One more pick. Mahomes and Stroud, bro, you don't need Aaron Rodgers. You need a okay, you don't need a tight end. Dude, unstacked Rodgers has got to be the most sexless pick of all time. Okay, let's go. Like, how many blow-up weeks is Aaron Rodgers giving you on his own? All right, Steve-O. There we go, baby. One last ride. One last ride to help Will win the puppy too. This is a pretty sick team. The running backs are atrocious. CD, Marv, DK, JMO. We have rookie, and then we have Ayuk on the pup. Who cares? Here's my thing. Here's my Ayuk take. Best ball. I do want to take these fallers at their lowest point. And there's a potential he does actually hit the pup and falls lower than this. But I also feel like the range of receivers he goes around. Oh, shoot. I got to fix this. About to be on the clock, too. All right. This is how locked in I am. Fixing it before I'm on the clock. All right. I do like Darius Slayton. Maybe it's Calvin Austin, but I don't think I need a triple stack Rodgers. Running backs. Oh, I do like Marshawn Lloyd, too. Maybe... Let's do Marshawn Lloyd. I like Slayton, but I don't like him enough to not take my favorite of the gross running backs with this team. Like, this team needs Lloyd to like matter, right? Like week 8, Bucky's hurt and David Montgomery is on his bye, and I'm staring down these 3. That's a very specific scenario I'm painting out, but that's the way my brain works. Okay, guys. Okay, here's the thing with like them moving on from Kyler, and this is probably more of a dynasty Kyler take than it is necessarily a Kyler in Arizona thing. Like, Kyler will have a starting job as long as he wants to be an NFL quarterback. He will have one until like he has like some injury or the wheels fall off a little bit running wise. He doesn't have the speed. I agree. MHA wasn't a chump. Built him up too high. True. He was a 1-2 turn pick. Like the pounds he put on. I will say too that I do kind of like it a little bit too, because MHA will just never be. He's just never going to be like a Malik Neighbors, get him a short target out in space guy. Like, they're just not going to do screens, but they do need to give him motion. I think he had like 1 target that came from like a play in motion. I'm half making that up, but that stat isn't wrong enough to be totally wrong. You know? 32 team league rookie draft right now. Higgins and Jack Bash drafted but over Burden. Okay, the first part of that is kind of more mind-boggling to me than the second part, but the second part is mind-boggling. I could see Higgins, I will say that. Bash is crazy. Jordan James over Giddens, Sparks, Hunter. I wouldn't do it, but I can kind of... Nah, I wouldn't do it. Miss some Burden news? I think Burden's just been falling because he hasn't been practicing. All right, we can go a wide receiver here. So our last pick is probably... Oh, I would have loved Theo Johnson. Actually, it's probably just a tight end, yeah? Terrence Ferguson? Conklin? I don't necessarily think that it's fine. I would have taken. I've been taking a lot of Juwan Johnson. I don't think that Terrence Ferguson is like a smash pick, and I want to leave every draft with him because I do think there's a chance that Tyler Higbee just is a better pick for this season specifically because they do like him, brought him back. But I am buying the FUD that the Rams really wanted to trade up for Bowers, and then that they wanted to move up for what people are saying was Tedero McMillan, but I think it was insert pass catching weapon. Dude, I will say, the COD Kyler jokes, I was so against them until the stuff came out about the contract and having like a blurb in there about like dedicated film study time, which is just like, that is like monumental. That no quarterback has that is insane. That blew my mind. Jake, get me to a Lions game, bro. That's funny. Kyler's probably undervalued, but he's frustrating to own in season. My thing with like frustrating to own in season is, and I'll hit this. All right, we'll do a quick team review. Okay. Kyler, Dak, Rodgers. Honestly, I didn't even need to go 3 QBs, but like Rodgers at 189, when you just look at the players that go in the 189 range, and it's like Dylan Sampson, Justice Hill, like these could all be zeros. This entire range could be a zero. Even Mason Taylor, Chig, Michael Wilson, these could all be zeros. So getting a quarterback that like can just hit your lineup at least these bye weeks when it's a 2v2, love it. Now, when I show you this running back room, understand that the wide receiver room is nice. Okay. Bucky, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson, Ray Davis, Rico Dowdle, Marshawn Lloyd. Now, you could have talked me into a different running back. You could have talked me into, instead of Dak here, we were committed to like Aaron Rodgers. The only thing is I would have wanted to have gone third quarterback as well, and I didn't really have a good stacking partner that late. Regardless, CD paired with Dak, Marv paired with Kyler, DK with Rodgers, JMO, Golden, Ayuk. We can slow play these guys, man. Golden, take your time, man. Brandon Ayuk. Start on the pup, bro. Let me be the only team in the finals that has a Brandon Ayuk Golden team because both of them started slow. And I didn't even care because I had this wide receiver room. All right. Jake Ferguson, Jonnu Smith, Terrence Ferguson. All right. We got the Ferg Daddy room. Clicked on the stream. No, you're good. You're good. You do got to get my boy Jeremy to a game. I'm trying to snag Rice in a 10-team PPR for Pickens and my 25-203. He also has Flowers and asked if I wanted anyone else. Would you do that same for Flowers? I would not. I would do it for Rice. It's funny because right before the Pickens to Dallas trade or move, I traded basically Pickens. It basically was not straight up the 203. It was like Pickens, and I traded back from the 111 to the 201 in a rookie draft for Flowers. Just because I was just ready to be out on Pickens, and then that trade happened, and it's like, feels bad. But yeah, I wouldn't do it for Flowers. I see them in similar tiers now, or a similar tier now. Rice, I would definitely do it for. Mason Taylor could be a zero. I don't think a zero, but the zero in the context of mattering for best ball is what I'm saying. Not a total zero. And I like Mason Taylor. I've been taking a decent amount of Mason Taylor. I just think sometimes we overplay like target competition, especially for rookies and especially for tight ends, where it's like they have nobody to pass the ball to. And it's like, yeah, that means it's probably just going to be Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and Justin Fields. And somebody will emerge. You know, Alan Lazard is still there, right? He's not a Steeler yet. And I like Mason Taylor. I'm saying could be in the context of if Mason Taylor is giving you like 2 for 26 every week, like that is not doing anything for you in best ball. Even if he's running a ton of routes. All right, let's rip another one. Flower scares me. Rice's upside seems so high. 100%. Yeah. I like Flowers. But I think Flowers is locked in to being what he is for his entire Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens tenure, which is not bad, but it's just not. He's just never going to be like target hog, elite passing offense. I mean, yes, elite passing offense, but yeah, like elite target share. He's just going to be more Devonta Smith than he's going to be Nico Collins, which is fine, but it's not something that I want to trade Pickens in the 203 for, you know. Thought I caught you having a bad take, but you were right. Thought you meant Jordan Mason. Wait, about the Jordan James? Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely, yeah, I agree. I like Mason Taylor. I mean, you'll probably look at my tight end percentages. He's probably up there-ish. All right, should we go RB start? Just realized you guys couldn't see the board. Put it on the board. Oh. All right, don't worry, guys. I'm fixing it. I know you're worried. All right. I'll let chat decide. JJ or Bijan? You guys want to see the RB start? The first one I see. 6 seconds. I don't know how fast the message will come through. All right, hopefully the first message I see was Bijan. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the feedback. I always need another brain. Not in my league. 100%. Highly recommends. I will say, get in the Discord. I'm being, and I will say, for people that ask questions in the Discord and don't feel like they get good responses, one, I'm going to be hitting that more. I do want to start responding more to the Discord. But the Dynasty season will come alive, man. People will come with their questions, and it'll just be a beautiful flow of perspectives that are being shared and requested. It's a beautiful place. If you are not a Discord enjoyer and you're like, I'm not a Discord guy, I'm in a smiley face. HE double hockey sticks. Yeah, let's go. I just like doing my little pitches when I feel like they line up, you know? Oh, nice. That's a fun range. 272829. I mean, obviously you would like to. I would like to move up. Especially, what are the starters in this one? 10-team PPR. I would do what I could to move up earlier in the second if you had to package a couple of those. Just because I mean, it depends. But I've seen, especially in a 10-team, I've seen like Golden fall. I've seen Dart fall in Superflex, and it's like a quarterback and a first-round rookie wide receiver going at like the 203, 204 is like insane to me. And not necessarily insane compared to the other players that go, but just insane in terms of like in a rookie draft, typically what the 202, 203, 204 looks like. Fantasy portfolio, a premium feature. I will say Will's, you know what, gets a little tight when I get a Dynasty Daddy question. I don't think so. We're gonna leave it at that. I use Dynasty Daddy a ton, and I need Jeremy to sit down with me and give me like a full pitch breakdown of like everything I need to know about the site and like the premium aspects and everything. I am a part of the Dynasty Daddy. Oh, heck yeah! Look at me. I just gotta be confident. I was like 95% sure. You just the 5% sneaks in the back of your head. Also, what's up, Jeremy? All right, so we started RB here. Last we did the C. I guess it makes sense to go RB. We did the CD start last time. All right, you physically cannot stop me from taking Brock Bowers here. Actually, I would do any of these. We just did Bucky, and I'm a little bit downer on Bucky post Worf's pup stuff. Let's go. Yeah, let us know. I'm curious who the John P most rostered player is. All right, unfortunately, these next two picks are probably Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. Derrick Henry falling this far is crazy. Yeah. Yep. All right. You know what? Who? Oh, actually, no, not. You know, it's fine. It's fine. If they didn't have the same bye week, I was gonna do it. But I'm fine with these two. I do like leaving if I'm doing this like two. If I'm doing like a onesie or two running backs at this kind of turn, I like feel legally bound to have one wide receiver, some sort of hero wide receiver. And then when I get to this 48-51 range, I'm just smashing two of these guys. Pause. You know what? Double buy. Just do it. Marv, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. Here's what I'll say. I think people get a little overhyped about the bye week stuff. Where, like, yes, you limit yourself in the sense of you don't want to have, especially these like, especially the, okay, here's the thing. At the running back position, okay. All right. You don't, this makes you uncomfortable because you see this and you think I have to make another somewhat significant investment in the running back position because by week 5, like when week 5 hits, I no longer have 2 early capital players and I'm also having to make up ground elsewhere. So it does feel gross. But there's two pushbacks. One is like the entire fantasy season is so insane that I would care more about the players that I project, that I believe project better over a full season. I would rather have that than be focused on this equation I'm trying to solve for specific week output. So by week 5, I am probably losing 20 points just from, not having to invest in different spots, losing the running backs. But if I feel like I'm making that up elsewhere, and also this is going to be really unique. That's the third part. Okay. Did I talk everyone into it? Now I'm not trying to do this, but because Jacobs, I was going to take Jacobs anyways. I just like him so much more than all these other running backs, except for you, my sweet prince. All right. Update on my roster question. On Tuesday, my Ayuk tanked L and a second for MHJ was instant decline. You know what? I get it. Good try, though. It's always worth a try. Dak owner wants May. What's the gap? I like this headline. Hurts Mahomes May. Wow. I mean, Hurts, these like Hurts Mahomes teams, I'm totally down to figure out what I could get. What upgrade could you make happen? What do you even want to upgrade on this team? Like running back? Like, can you find a way to like tier down and turn Jacobs or Mixon into something sick? Because you already have Amon-Ra, Puka, Nico. Jeez, dude, this team's crazy. He probably doesn't have any running backs too if he's rebuilding. I mean, I'm fine cashing out for firsts, but I'm also an anti-third QB guy. Not anti, but I just don't want to pay for it. So I usually like cashing out. Yeah, it is kind of tough. Like, you can cash out for picks, but there's a chance that May gives you an even better cash out. And your team is honestly like, dude, your team is so good. I think sometimes when you have these like nasty teams, you should just like set your phone down. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts? All right, we went double running back. Oh, dude, the this is the apocalypse draft. Okay, Worthy goes. I have not taken a ton of DJ Moore. I feel like I've been taking more Rome later. But I do need to go wide receiver here. So why not? We'll double tap. Cook would have been an interesting pick there. Just because it gives me like a third good projection running back. But I think the play is I end up taking 1 to 2 guys in this like 70. I take 1 and 70, and then like this like 80, 90 range. I'm taking like Aaron Jones, or I'm taking a J.K. Dobbins. I'm reaching a little bit, Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not investing a lot in running back outside of that. Yeah, he did have, I don't want to take away from it, because I do believe and enforce a lot of the May rushing stuff, and I believe all right, let me lock in here. All right, Devonta Smith's just kind of a W pick, yeah. Beth Walker's fun. Chuba, you could talk me into Chuba or Kenneth Walker, but I think the smart thing is to just double hit receiver at that turn. It lets me be more flexible in the 70-75 range. Quarterbacks we're looking at. Mahomes is going to be tough. Is going to be a tough pick. This is probably a Caleb. And then whatever receiver I end up taking. Or I backstack with Bryce Young or something. Yeah, I hear this, but I also agree with this. That's fair. Okay, I hear what a lot is being said right now. That is insane. The QB6 on KTC, also true. I mean, Dak in a first is kind of nice, but also like when I have your team specifically, I'm staring down this team, like Dak in a first is like a fine cash out in my opinion for Drake May. But I'm probably doing that. I was about to do this little like corollary about value and what are you going to cash out those firsts on. But these kind of teams, like you kind of do want to do this thing where you just keep getting plus value moves that don't affect your roster, and you just find a way to, you keep winning every season, and you're going into rookie drafts with two extra firsts, and it's like sick. I have 2 or 3 firsts, and I can, trade Dak in a first and get. I mean, that's a bad example, but I can trade. Adams retires and AJ Brown's out for the year. Cool. I still have Amon-Ra, Puka, Nico, and now I can trade this player in a first for, whatever. DK Metcalf. That's a terrible example. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down, huh? Okay, that's fair. I do like Drake May. I am co-owning a team with probably like my best Dynasty friend. Shout out Alex. He is the like the bro from high school. Played a bunch of sports together. Got into all the same games. We played like Smash Bros competitively together. He and I are co-owning. It's our first team. We took over an orphan together, and it has Drake May and JJ McCarthy. And he keeps telling me, he's like, dude, Drake May's KTC price is insane. We have to trade him. And I'm kind of doing the thing where I'm like, I don't think you can actually get those prices. So right now, our current offer we have sent out, I got this approved by him to send out. Okay. We're trading away Drake May, Bucky, and Zay Flowers for Brock Purdy, CeeDee Lamb, and Rashad Bateman. So basically tearing down from Drake May to Purdy to go from Bucky to CD. And then the Flowers for Bateman thing is the little cherry to make that move happen, because our receiver room is pretty stacked. But I think it's a pretty fair trade. Like, I don't think we're taking anybody out to the shed or anything, you know? All right, is this a running back here? Or do we go wide receiver, then running back? I think it's a receiver. I think it's like Judy. I could be talked into Godwin. But I think it's a receiver here. And then we hit running back. I like Judy and Godwin so much more than like Pearsall, Golden, Reed. Not like insane projection wise, but like my confidence that I will feel like they're good best ball picks. Does that make sense? I get so nervous about any QB prospect mention that talks about Josh Allen, just because I feel like he is literally the anomaly, even though this is true. And I do think there are some comparisons to Drake May and Josh Allen. All right. All right, maybe we do the... Okay, it's definitely not Caleb Johnson. Let's get that out of the way. Maybe it's a safer projection. Let's do that. All right, here's the alpha brain level take. David Montgomery, week 5, probably projects better than Quinshon, week 5. I'm just putting that out there. That's the only reason I decided to make that pick. All right, we're landing the plane. We're landing the double bye week plane. Now we're ultimately flexible. We're not getting Mahomes because somebody's going to take him here. I feel like he shouldn't be hard to move, but the league, I have him in 2 leagues and I can't cash out for the prices I want to cash out at. But that's probably a me problem, that I'm trying to get a tier down that people see what I'm doing kind of deal. So I think we masked this tier down enough. Like, I think the trade I sent you guys or told you guys about, I think we masked it enough where it's a pretty fair tier down. Like, in his mind, he's saying, okay, I'm giving away CD, but I'm able to turn Purdy into Drake May, and I'm still getting Bucky. Like, I'm still getting an elite young player. Thoughts? Josh Allen is... I find a way. We find a way to talk about Josh Allen every stream, man. Look how pretty that is. You see the 20 to 75 there. This is so funny. This is like my one cool card. I got this for like $50. Like, this is not like an insane card, but I like showing it and talking about it like it is an insane card. List it out again. The May trade. Okay, we are trading away. I could probably just pull it up on Sleeper, actually. We are trading away Drake May, Bucky Irving, and Zay Flowers. Drake May, Bucky, and Zay Flowers. We are receiving Brock Purdy, CeeDee Lamb, and Rashad Bateman. So if you do the comparisons, it is tiering down from Drake May to Brock Purdy. But what lets us do that, or what makes us feel good about doing that, is we are tiering up from Bucky to CD. And the heavy tier down is Zay Flowers to Rashad Bateman. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Dang. I think it's fair. I don't think we are like heavily winning that. It's just the way that I like to build my teams and the way our team is set up too. Like we have some running backs we can kind of slot in. We have like a couple like Tony Pollard, Tyrone Tracy types where like just being stacked at receiver, I feel better about. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we like Bucky. My thing is, I feel so confident in my ability to like backfill the running back position that I'm almost always trying to move Bucky type players for the equivalent receiver that is either an up tier or elite. Wait, those are the same thing. All right, let me lock in here. All right, Darnell Mooney on the board. These running backs, I do want to take another running back here. Let me go Mooney just because I like him. There, just because I like him. I like Mooney and Pittman. I probably Keon. They're like small tier breaks for me receiver wise. But once you get into Trey Harris and Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, like I'm telling myself, okay, wait. Luther Burden, Caleb Williams. Here's the thing, though. I'm probably not getting K-Dub. K-Dizzy. I mean, if Kyler falls, maybe. Like, if these guys don't go Kyler, and I get to pick before either of them pick. Like, if neither of these guys go QB, there's a real chance that, okay. I don't even know. Why do I talk? Why do I talk when I know what's going to happen? They literally both took quarterbacks. Okay, you guys are going to be mad at me if I take ETN, yeah? I just know you are. I know you guys are going to be mad. I'll take it. Would you guys have been mad? I'm a big Mooney guy. I've been taking Mooney in a lot of my startups. Not a lot. I've had two, but I'm trying to move Achan in the league. Can't get any receivers I like. I do like Achan this year, man. But I get it. I'm with it. I also would be doing that, so I agree. I feel like people just they take the Michael Penix sample. I think wasn't Mooney hurt for one of those games? They take the Penix sample, and it's like, oh, Drake London smash, and it's like, I mean, Mooney was fine those weeks, and Mooney was like 80% Drake London for most of the season, and one of those guys goes mid-second, early second, and the other one goes pick 94. ADP's 86, but all right, here's for all the haters that says Will just takes the ADP followers. Okay. How about that for you? Get my Chicago stat going. I would still like to take another running back. I probably need to hit this range twice. Once. This is a fine team. I'm pretty fine with this. I'm probably getting in my head a little bit too much about the Bijan Jacobs thing. Like, I think it would have been overkill to take another running back there just because I feel bad about having bye week 5. Yeah, this bye week 5 is going to full me up, though, huh? DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney. So bye week 5, I've got Judy, Smith, Rice, David Montgomery. No quarterback. We'll see. All right. 6 picks away. We are looking at. You could talk me into doing one of these guys. I gotta be careful, man. Whoa. I've had a couple pauses tonight. 8 by 11. Wow. I'm taking Tillman. For sure. I'm almost always in these like nebulous, who knows situations. I am almost always taking the receiver that I've seen be a legit receiver in the NFL. Now, I'm not projecting Cedric Tillman to necessarily do that, but I've seen a stretch of him commanding targets in the NFL. I've not seen that from DeAndre Thornton. One-eye Najee or Sharp. Yeah, I knew they were going. JK would have been nice. I just knew that range wasn't going to fall. All right, the only thing that sucks about taking like Scatabo here is I don't get Luther Burden. And I don't think Loveland will fall to me at 142. So if I want to take those guys, I have to do it now. I probably don't need to take Burden, but I'm going to lose both of them. Oh, and Ramondre goes too. I'm getting stun locked, guys. Do I take the receiver I think projects best? Or do I take the stack? Or do I take the running back? I'm too Shaheed pilled. I regret that pick. Should have taken like Njoku or something. It's fine. Maybe I just pray one of them falls. Oh, dude. I would have loved Stevenson. Not actually loved, but I would have felt better about it. Pat Bryant, any day 3 running back? I'm kind of buying the Pat Bryant stuff. I feel like Sean Payton's the kind of coach that I buy the FUD, even though it always gets peeled behind our eyes. That's not the phrase, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm probably taking Spears here. Okay, Burden does fall. That is just overkill, yeah. I wish Loveland would fall. I do think I have to take Spears. If I don't take Spears, the RB4 in a double bye week elite RB team is going to be like Austin Eckler, Jaden Blue. Yeah, I'm probably going Bryant. I do like rostering as many rookie running back lotto tickets as I can reasonably. But once you get into like 6th, 7th rounds, UDFA guys, I'm not dropping like my backup quarterbacks in the leagues that I like to build my teams like that. All right, what's the quarterback plan? Any chance Loveland falls? Huh? 14 picks? No chance. There's so many no tight end teams. And he's such a fun click. He is hurt though. There we go. Come on. May not be a full okay. Kraft goes, yikes. May not be a full go for camp. All right, we need a tight end and a quarterback plan. So the Penix for Mooney, and I have been a shucker, guys. I have been a shuck guy. I don't like to admit it. I don't like to say it out loud, especially not on the best ball draft stream. But I have been a shuck guy. There goes Loveland. All right. Honestly, this range of tight end, I'm kind of fine taking as my tight end 1 in my gross three rooms. All right, how nasty is this receiver room? This is not that nasty. Bijan Jacobs is doing a lot for this team. Rice, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Judy, Shaheed. I like Najee over Dobbins. What do you think, Will? That's tough. I do. If you guys are on my Twitter, you ready for this? Will doesn't tweet a lot, but he's trying to. I'm trying to be a good little Dynasty Daddy. So this 0 like tweet from Will here. Here we go. Denver. Okay, what's going on here? Denver RB reception ranks. Okay, I'm trying to show my ad, but I guess it's under here. 2023 first, 2024 fourth. We're talking 2024 with Jaleel, Javante, the estimate running back room. The better value pick between RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins is both. Look at this confident closure to this tweet. But I will say, I also agree that, wow, Trevor Lawrence really fallen. I guess it's not insane. Where's the team that has? Oh, I guess it wouldn't be any of those guys. All right, Rashad White likely goes. I might go Goddard and then Pickens. Let's do that. Wait, I say Pickens and Penix. Going Pickens there would be sick. Thomas had a great O-line and was really inefficient and got injured again. This is totally fair. Totally fair. They let him walk. He was the law. Yeah, I will say, like, getting to choose. Like, choosing Najee over bringing back Dobbins, basically. Free agent on the market for a long time. Yeah, I think the, like, long time being a free agent, I don't buy too much into, just because camp hasn't started yet. Like, the rookie mini camp stuff, and, like, we're starting to get into, like, actual. Okay, Penix goes to a guy with no Atlanta pass catchers. Sure, buddy. What is the quarterback plan, huh? I'm scared, guys. I guess I'll take Ferg Daddy. All right, I gotta land the plane, guys. We'll figure this out. My Dobbins thing is, I think he will quickly become the trusted third down pass protection back. And I do think that Sean Payton sees RJ Harvey as his whatever, like maybe not the full thing, but we've always heard about the Joker thing. And I think that the pick, like a Sean Payton second round running back pick, like that is a player I want on my fantasy teams. Now, with that being said, we are like past the world of one, we're just outside the realm of like 80-90% snap share running backs. So on top of that, Sean Payton has kind of always been a 2 running back guy or 3-headed monster. I mean, last year was a 3-headed monster, but it was disgusting. But so like my leans for having Dobbins slightly over Najee are mostly, one, I think that Hampton versus Najee is a bigger gap between Harvey and Dobbins. I could totally be wrong about that. And that's a little bit more of my feelings about Hampton than it is my feelings about Najee. Clickbaity titles. On my thumbnails, I'm working on the thumbnails. I will say the Underdog draft streams are kind of like underground, you know? You know, if you're coming to these, like you're a true Dynasty Daddy. You're a true Dynasty child if you're coming to these. These picks will. I will say Jeremy fixes my titles. He's a title fixer. I'll make the title like a reasonable title. And then Jeremy's like, hell nah, bro. This is what sells. And he'll throw in a shocking. He'll throw in a, I don't know. But it gets the job done, man. Gotta work on it. I gotta find it. Oh, dude, these quarterbacks are flying, bro. All right, what's the QB plan? We gotta have one. Here's a part of it. I could talk myself into doing 2 QBs with Caleb Williams, but I don't love to do that. Okay, 6 wide receivers here: Rice, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy. We're definitely not doing tight end. Is going to be last pick of the draft. The in makes this an even bigger pause. Oof. I've had 2 of those tonight, though. All right, QB wise, do we have to do this? And then backstack with like... Dude, where does Io Manor go? Oh, I was going to say. I haven't taken any of DK, bro. Isn't this kind of crazy? All right, what are we doing here? I think I have to do this. We have Tajay. We can backstack with some receivers. And we take Shuck in this like 195 range. I'll reach on that, that's fine. 171. The only thing with taking Cam Ward there is I don't get Tank Bigsby, which I shouldn't be sad about because it's Tank Bigsby. All right, Braylon Allen. Do I care? Do I care about these bye weeks? Let's get some. I have not been taking a lot of Braylon Allen. Mostly because he goes around Rico, and I've happily hit Rico over him a ton. And the running backs ahead of him, I guess I probably should be taking more Braylon Allen. Like, I'm always taking Jalen Wright. What's his ADP? 156? Is that what it was? 169? Okay, that's, yeah, 161 versus 169. Like, I feel like when I'm on the clock, I'm like, please let me get Jalen Wright so I don't have to take Braylon Allen. Maybe I should chill on that. I haven't been taking much Isaiah Davis. Kind of lends itself to maybe I should be taking more Braylon Allen. I like these streams. These are nice, quick, an hour and a half. Not that I don't love the length of the Dynasty Trade Show streams, but sometimes you gotta pee, man. People don't understand. Sometimes you have to pee. All right, let's do a quick recap of the team. We're probably taking Chuck here at 195. And then maybe we go a little third and Jawan Johnson. So these final 3 picks, is this reasonable? Is 5 running backs reasonable? With Bijan, Jacobs, Monty? If the other running backs? Yeah, I think it is. I think we've passed the point of no return with running backs mattering. It's off the board. Oh, between the ads. I will say, I know you guys who have been watching Dynasty Daddy videos before and are just now seeing ads for the first time. Maybe I'll be forced to change this against my own will, but I want you all to know when I set these streams up, I click conservative. You get to choose the little recommended. Conservative. I don't go down to that revenue generating max ads, you know? These streams are about more than the 25 cents I'm going to get from it. From the ads that run for you guys. Streams are about winning the puppy too. You guys thought I was going to say something nice about you. No, the stream's about winning the puppy too. All right, what's the order? What would make me the saddest if I didn't get here? I think these are the last 3 picks. Okay, this feels insane. It's just Sam Darnold, isn't it? I want to take Shuck. I want to take Shuck, but how is Sam Darnold still on the board? That is insane. You got to be ashamed of yourself. Where's the JSN drafter? I'm going to single you out. Not Jackson Dart. All right, JSN. Crunch. All right, this is... I don't know why I'm not trying to like make fun of this guy. I'm just curious. Okay, this is fine. Hurts Tua is a fine 2 QB team. I take back making fun of this guy for having JSN. Oh, he probably got sniped on Penix too, right? Or no? We both got sniped on Penix. Ah, took my Loveland. Okay, all right, that's fine. W streamer A. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. Dude, I thought the same thing, but my ass has been slamming Diami Brown. I just oh, I'm on the clock. Okay, that was not necessarily the pick I wanted to make. I wanted to do this, I think. All right, what are the odds that AJ Barner scores more points than Elisha Arroyo? I probably should have been Darren Waller, huh? Oh, okay. I need to give you my Darren Waller take. Do you think I'll get copyright striked by Darren Waller if I play his song? It's not even released yet. Somebody let me know. This song is a banger. Have you guys heard this the top play song by Darren Waller? The song is an absolute banger. All right, I'm gonna workshop my Darren Waller take while I play this for you guys. It's making me sign into SoundCloud. When was that? Do you have to sign into SoundCloud to play a song? It's insane. This song is a absolute bop. I'll turn it up, don't worry.
It's the first thing I wrote since Japan, so it might get real spooky. Top play, gotta put this shit on Sports Center. We gon' stick a fork in them, get it done. We not fade.
That interview is so good. Yes. That bar does go crazy though. Oh, they got the beam on me. Playing defense, trying to draw up a scheme for me. What you mean I ain't the one? Every time I ran around, they had the whole team on me. That shit does go hard. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think about athlete rappers. That goes hard. They got the beam on me. Playing defense. Alright, the rest of the song is fine. Osh, they got the beam on me. Playing defense. Trying to draw up a scheme for me. What you mean I ain't the one? Every time I ran around, they had the whole fucking team on me. Oh, come on. Come on. Alright, Arroyo? The skinny stack Sam Darnold, Elijah Arroyo is crazy, but low key, this is kind of the team you want to do it with. Dallas Goedert, Jake Ferguson. All right, any other tight end? Oh, guys. Okay. I will naked Sam Darnold. Gosh, I need to like evaluate what's going on in my brain before I say something. I'm trying to say that Sam Darnold without any pass catchers. Honestly, I have no Seattle. It's just Sam Darnold. But I wanted 3 quarterbacks, and I was going to stack with Shuck late. Okay, naked Sam Darnold. Okay, still feels weird to say. Naked Sam Darnold, I'm fine with it because Theo Johnson will be the best last round tight end pick, and I stand by that. Dude, there's been too many. It's like 1 or 2 is hilarious. 4 or 5 is concerning. I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch the stream like I'm watching film. Like I need to just sit in the office. I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna throw on the stream. Probably like 1.5x speed. I'm just gonna rewatch. Just take notes. What are we doing here? Stop talking about your smashing these 2 guys at the turn. Let's just calm down. And let's be a little more straightforward with it. I'm looking forward to drafting Trevor Lawrence and grabbing my running back 4 here at the turn. I can tell I went back to the NFL. Dude, that interview was kind of eye-opening for a lot of reasons. The stuff about like him saying that there's only like 2 coaches he would go back to play for, and one of them is the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins. And then on top of that, him stuff about like him not blocking. My workshop Darren Waller take is I think he will be a miserable draft pick in fantasy, redraft, and probably in Dynasty too, for like people that would just want to play him. But the way I fill out my tight end position, there are teams where it's like I have like Dallas Goedert is my tight end 1, and then nothing like Gadsden, rookies, whatever, and I'll play Waller if Goddard's hurt, and I'm fine with that because I think Goddard will give you 2 catches and a touchdown, and then he'll give you 30% snap share. That's what I'm envisioning. But also there's a chance, I mean, the rest of that tight end room, if Goddard, I mean, if Waller wants to block, which he said he doesn't want to do as a part of that interview, or said he did, that was one of the reasons he retired. If he wants to, I could see that man lugging 80%, being a big slot. We'll see. He wins in different ways than Jonnu is a thing. Like they're not going to give him the Jonnu stuff, like the short. But he's a better, or he was at least. I'm not going to be confident about that, you know, off the injuries he's had and being retired for a full season. But he, for his career, has been a better, like, intermediate downfield receiver than Jonnu. But Jonnu definitely a better yak guy, 100%, just in general and at this point for sure. But it kind of excites me. I mean, if that's going to be Achane and they're going to utilize Waddle and Hill in more fun ways this season, I'm down. And Waller's just a big boy in the middle. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging. Always a blast. I do like the these kind of. We'll get them to grow. We'll get the people in here drafting some best ball teams. But for the time being, had a blast. Cranking out two puppies. Wait, where is it? Where is it? You're good, Zeno. That's what it's for. What you mean I ain't the one? Every time I ran around, they had the whole fucking team on me. Shorty know I got it, I just act broke. They was hating till I dropped it, gotta act woke. If you didn't know this was Darren Waller and you heard on the radio, somebody documented. Only rapper they believe, that's why they rocking with it. I'm upstanding. Been trying to understand it, but I could never sacrifice the music for the brand. It isn't all hard, but parts of it are hard enough. Peace out. Thank you for hanging. Win my first redraft chip. Ooh. What's my Waller connection? My most recent Waller connection is I traded for him when he went to the Giants in a move where I moved. I got like Connor and Achane for Waller. Wait. I'm not going to be able to remember this. It ended up being fine. Don't worry. I didn't trade Devon Achane for James Conner and Darren Waller. Keep building this thing. You're doing. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Stick around. Stick around for the ride. We got Dynasty Daddy leagues coming up. I promised Jeremy that I would work on the Google form. We're going to be sending that out to people to get these Dynasty leagues going. If you have ideas, I think it's another Darren Waller song. I don't feel confident that we should play this. Definitely stick around. Let me know if you ever come up with ideas for like what you would want to see. I don't know if we'll do that as a part of the Google form, like questionnaire. I think we'll probably just decide and set them up that way. But we're gonna get interest. They're gonna be like smaller buy-in ones for sure. Ranking out 2 puppies. That's what it's all about. That should be the stream title. Young male cranks out 2 puppies. Okay, I'm gonna end stream on that. All right, peace out. Osh, they got the beam on me.